Hello everyone, this is Andrew Harris from NAS Meridian, also known as Lockhart. Today I'm going to talk to y'all about the scope of government. According to the two videos, the two visions of political order argue the opposite of another. One argues government is a natural order, while the second view sees it as a completely unnatural thing. Aristotle agreed for a small government for more freedom, which Hobbes argued for the larger government. Hobbes taught people would be in a state of anarchy without being controlled by the government. He believed in the transfer of power from the people to the government. Preventing anarchy was the point in large-scale government as well as small-scale government. The modern state began in the Middle Ages and had a saying called the second body of the king. That's why they'd say, "Long live the king," even if the king died. The kingship was immortal. The social order of police and law enforcement would not go away with the death of a king. The point was to control people enough with the laws, and he gave the example of traffic laws and how people are still at their own freedom and will to drive their cars however they like. But if you break the traffic laws or cause an accident, you will be held to account. The authorities are instituted power to keep the people behaving in a civil way. Religious and tribal leaders had to be held in account by the institution of the crown. Lesser authorities had liberty in any matter the crown remained silent about. Social authorities have been called worms by Hobbes in the Commonwealth. If the worms got out of control, the worms would have to be purged. You know, people that get worms and keep worms, they end up deciding they have to poison the worms at some point. Authorities often resisted the second body of the king since the Middle Ages. It wasn't until the 17th century that Europeans discovered the republican tradition of the Greeks. By the time of the French Revolution, monarchies were falling. The French called themselves a republic, but the republican tradition was always in a smaller setting. France made it a Hobbesian state. You can look on the news and see many things about big government, small government, the deep state. We hear about this kind of stuff all the time. The truth is, there's benefits to either size of government. Of course, it can be too authoritative for anybody to want to live in. That's why there have been countless revolutions over the centuries. That and corruption actually leads to more of it than we'd want to admit. The fact that we think we could do better than the people that God has already appointed for us to be under says something about our egos, I believe. But we, as the people, are not always wrong. That's why, fortunately, we have votes in our country on certain things. Every 4 years, we vote for a new president, and we see a small revolution of sorts. I hope the government will be smaller and that we'll enjoy more liberty. On the same hand, there are times when martial law would be necessary, even if we'd enjoyed such freedom. So with that, I'll call it a night.